Today we will consider finance model for e-com business. So basically you can use it as calculator for each new product, and we will consider specifically products that are going to be sold on Amazon platform. Of course you can use this model for other platforms as well, but you need to change some metrics and logic behind it. First of all, we need to find out the price of our product. Of course, it is not rocket science, so you can go on each marketplace where are you going to sell. You need to find the market, geographic market, where are you going to sell it, and you can compare with your competitors. The average price, the median price is not always the right answer for your pricing strategy, because if you're competing in economy segment, so it is better to choose lower pricing, like tier 1 is the lowest one. If you're competing in premium segment, it is better to choose the higher pricing than the medium one. But when we are just calculate the average economy of each product, so we can use the medium one and it would be enough. We need to understand the product weight, dimensions, size, and so on to calculate shipping cost. We need to understand how many units are in each package, and we need to make forecast for our monthly sales. And of course we cannot foresee those sales. We can only assume. That's why we will stress test and we will find out the minimum amount of sales that you need to make, the maximum amount. Probably it would be good for you, but we need to understand what is the minimum amount that you need to make each month in order to reach break-even and in order to succeed. Then we have production cost. It is harder than pricing, because in order to find it, we need to reach out directly several factories, and usually competitors, they don't share their production cost, and usually factories, they don't say that our production cost is 67 euro per unit. They have several gradients of pricing depending on the volume, but I offer to use the most expensive one, because if our model works with expensive production cost, it will work with discounted as well. And it is important to include in our cost of goods sold, so-called COGS, not only the cost from factory, but also packaging, testing, customs duty, inspection, insurance, and so on. Because sometimes, for example, in this case, it is up to 2%. It is not crucial, but still 2% is a lot. In some cases, it could be more than 10%. That could be crucial, that can eat all your margin. And for example, when US implemented tariffs for European Union market, there are a lot of companies who went bankrupt because they didn't assume in their model higher custom duties, yes. And after our COGS, we need to understand what would be our advertising cost. And we need to calculate our cost per click, conversion rates, and so on. And also we need to find our marketing budget. And there is no right answer. It depends only on our possibilities and on our potential for growth and on the sphere and market size. Usually when we want to start, it would be enough to put from 20 to 30%, depends on the industry. We can test it, and afterwards we will show how it affects on the business. And we need to calculate some other, not big, but specific and important costs. So for example, return rate. So yes, we can assume that we will not have return because of perfect quality, but in real world, we will have return. And in real world, we need to assume that part of our costs would be allocated to return. We need to assume that we will have some OPEX. In the best case, we need to assume the salary for ourselves as well, because we are working whole day for this project. But it depends on you, how you want. But you need also always remember that when you scale, you will not find another enthusiast like you who will work for free. So that's why at some point you have to assume such number as CEO salary, for example. In this model, I didn't. Then very important rate is fees by platform. In this case, I put Amazon fees in European market, and all the VATs, all the storage fees, and so on. So if you are working in another market or in another marketplace, you need to change it, but still there are no free marketplaces, as I believe. And then we can see unit economics. We can see our price, we can see our cost of goods sold, all the fees, advertising, that's all. Everything behind the OPEX, but OPEX also is included here. And we can see our net profit margin. There is no right answer what should be, because there are low margin products, there are high margin products, there are products with 0.1% margin, and those businesses can exist, it is okay. And there are products with 80% margin, so it also exists. Usually, if the margin is very high, it means that the product is risky enough or market is risky enough. I didn't face other businesses, but still we need to compare it with benchmark. For example, in beauty industry, the average net profit margin is around 30%, I would say. Here we can see for this product it is from 15 to 19. It means that we can optimize something. Maybe we can find better prices from the factory, or we can increase price for our products. We can fine tune these models of negotiations, but still we can work with it. It is, at least it is higher than zero, and it means that we can scale it. Then we need to understand what is our optimal marketing budget. We need to stress test different scenarios, how big profit we can do with several marketing budget, with several percentage from our revenue allocated to marketing, and we can see our borderline is 40%. It means that it is more than enough. If we are going to spend only 25, and yes, we can overspend, and in first months it could be 35 or maybe 40, we still will have positive margin. That is good. Probably we have some space for mistakes, we have some space for hypothesis testing. Break even, also important metric, crucial understanding of your business. It means the minimum amount of products you need to sell to cover your operational cost. In this case, when you don't pay salary for yourself, when you also only have accountant, some storage fees, some brand fees, it is enough, and you need to sell only 11 units to cover all the costs. When you're going bigger, you have some support, in-house marketing team, something else, this number should be bigger, and you need to answer for yourself, is it possible to sell this amount or not? 11 sounds very possible, so it means one product like in 3 days, more than possible. At some points you can see that this number is unachievable. If your product has subscription model, or you can sell it on monthly basis, you need to test cohort analysis, and based on it you can build your marketing strategy. Because sometimes when we know that yes, the first average order value wouldn't be so high, but we know that this client will back to us during the year, we can put higher budget on marketing in order just to attract this client and make him buy the product in the first time. And of course, for each finance model, it is crucial to make it in dynamics, to consider it 1 year or 5 years, doesn't matter. When we are speaking about product in Amazon, 1 year is enough, because market is so dynamic that make projection for 5 years is almost impossible. That's why we can see what is our total budget and how much we can earn during the year. And yes, here we can see that from the month 0, our net profit is positive, but we need to count that our investment in month 1 equal to total cost for month 1. And then we need to answer for ourselves, are we ready to invest 100,000 or not? Or maybe we need to choose a smaller pace. And then we need to understand, is it enough for us to earn this amount of money? In this scenario, we are earning $500,000 in 1 year. So we can compare it with other product, or we compare it with other marketplaces and choose the most efficient one. And in order to not to go through all those steps each day, we need to have this one dashboard with all the basic information. The main metrics that we need to consider: net profit per unit, it should be positive. We know how much do we earn from each unit. Break even, minimum amount of units we need to sell in order to cover all our operational costs. And this unit economic waterfall, we can see where we are losing our money, because yes, sales price is 250, but in the end of the day we have only $50. Where are $200 or euro in this case? And we need to go through these rectangles and see we are losing money here, here, and here, and let's optimize what we can optimize. If you have questions for your e-com business, if you want to grow, so you can go to John Galt and we can grow together. We are helping e-com businesses to grow, we are helping to scale. John Galt Finance, your trusted partner in scaling. We have prepared a financial model template for you that you can download on our webpage absolutely for free. Also, if you have any questions about your business, you can book also free demo call with our fractional CFO, and he will consider your business and will help you to find opportunities to grow. Also, we will keep posting videos about business reviews, about any insights, how you can improve your financial planning. So please subscribe on our YouTube channel and we will inform you how to grow.